Happy Tuesday! It's time for Stories with Sarah Lizabeth. Yet again, I'm back. Thanks for joining me. It's good to see y'all. I have a confession. As you watch this right now, on this Tuesday, I am at the beach and my feet are in the sand and I am soaking it all up. And so I'm in my happy place. But I had to get this recorded before I left so that I could share it with you today. I've been telling y'all that I wanted to talk to you about some gifts that I've gotten. I've been able to witness some of my clients give to each other on their wedding days, the bride and grooms. And I'm excited to share with you this one because this one is so great and probably one of the most memorable ones that I was able to be a part of. And there's lots of details, so I'm gonna try and say it quickly, but y'all know I have the gift of gab. So hang tight. At the end of the video, I'm gonna show you how it actually all came into play, which I never do because all of these are designed to keep the client's identity a secret because I don't wanna be throwing any trash out there. But this one's so good that I want to actually show you footage from their wedding that I know that y'all will enjoy. So enjoy the story. There's a couple parts to this client's story and that are important to the whole story. So one time we were sitting at this food tasting and I was actually able to be with the bride and groom and the bride's parents. And so there is a cloth napkin at this table. And the dad starts, the father of the bride starts tying this napkin into like a do-rag, okay? And I am just sitting there observing him. I'm like, maybe this is his thing, I don't know. And so I asked him, I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you tying this napkin into a do-rag? And he said, oh, everywhere we go, we have this thing where we tie the napkins into do-rags and then put them on our head. And, while we're sitting and having a really nice, elegant dinner, we'll put these, napkins on our head and start laughing. And it's just like a family thing. So this turned into the idea that this could be a really fun favor, is that we get, napkins imprinted with the client's logo on it and their wedding day, and we pass them out to the guests, and then the guests can put these do-rags on their head at some point. Well, this started sort of, it's like once the train started, it just wasn't gonna stop. So, in my head, I'm thinking, y'all are the people that really annoy me at weddings because I'm the one that's untying all these do-rags at the end of the night when I have to, put the napkins into the bin for the rental company. I'm like, you know what? Y'all are those kind of people. So we started talking about, what we were gonna do and how we were gonna do it, and kind of coming up with a color, a theme for these napkins. And turns out that the groom was a huge Predators fan, the Nashville Predators hockey team. So we were like, okay, well, let's make them, gold and blue and put your logo on it. And, we can kind of do when you walk in, they can twirl them around their head and it'll be awesome and amazing. So we kind of had settled on what that theme would be first. The bride then her wheels started turning and she was thinking of what she could do for the groom and what kind of gift she could give him. So we started talking about how much he loves the Predators. And first we were like, okay, well, let's do a cake, a groom's cake, or something like that. Like it was just very, just base level. But this client wanted to take things to the next level. So what she wanted me to do was to hire the mascot, Gnash, from the Predators to come to their wedding and surprise the groom. And I was like, yes, that's amazing. So I went ahead and contacted the Predators and hired Gnash for the big day. This is where it gets super fun for me because on the day of the event, I'd hired Gnash and I was excited that he was gonna be at the wedding. I was telling, my friends like, oh, I'm so excited, I've got this wedding and, the mascot's coming and it's gonna be super fun and we're gonna surprise the groom and it's gonna be great. And everyone's gonna have the do-rags and, spinning them over their head and it's just gonna be perfect. So I got to the day of, and logistically, I knew that Gnash was going to show up at a certain time, and this was going to be right kind of after they entered into the wedding. He was going to come in after them and surprise the groom. So I knew the time frame. I knew somebody would be calling me at that point to let me know when Gnash had arrived. I really hate to bring the bad news, but did y'all know that mascots are actually not real, and they are people inside of a costume? So this is the funny part of the story where, I got this call on the event day, came to my cell phone. I was expecting it. I was waiting with my phone, like Gnash is gonna call or somebody is gonna call. And I actually was standing outside where I believed him to appear. And so I was in my van, and I was, out there with the crew and just kind of waiting and ready to go for this guy or whoever was gonna call me. And so sure enough, my phone rings, perfect timing, and I hear a voice on the other end, and he says, "Hello, this is Gnash's traveling companion." Now, meanwhile, I had seen a vehicle with a mascot resembling Gnash on the side of the vehicle. All right, it was his vehicle. And he pulls up, and there's a gentleman in the vehicle. And I don't see a Gnash. I just see a guy, one guy. And so I answer the phone. I'm talking to a guy, and I look over and I'm like, funny, that guy is talking back to me. Like, I can't hear what that guy's saying in the car, but when I say something, he's not talking. And when he says something, I'm not talking. And I'm like, that's funny. It's kind of, maybe I'm talking to this guy. And so he says to me, Gnash has arrived on property. And I said, oh yeah, I see your car. I'm right here. I'll come out and, talk to you. And he said, no. Gnash needs time to, prepare and to, and so he starts going into this whole thing about how Gnash can't be seen until he's supposed to be seen, and I don't need to be coming over to the vehicle. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this. So I start playing along, now it's a part. Now I'm excited. So now I'm talking to potentially the person that is in the Gnash costume, but Gnash is real, y'all. So it's almost like he's a mediator. And so this guy has a one-way road to Gnash. So we start talking about the logistics of the event. He tells me Gnash needs a minute. And I said, absolutely. Where should I meet Gnash? After I played along for a little bit, I was like, okay, I gotta get this show rolling. How long does it take Gnash to get, basically, how long does it take for you to get ready? Okay, how long is it gonna take for you to get in the costume? But I couldn't say that to him because, Gnash is real, y'all. He is a real mascot. So I ask him, I say, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the front side of the building where Gnash is gonna enter. And so just, is that okay if he just shows up there, like in like 15 minutes? Is that about how long Gnash needs? And he says, yes, Gnash has a few things he needs to do. And then he is going to be stretching, and he's gonna be warming up. And I was like, way to go, buddy. And so I said, okay, great, I'll meet him at the front of the building. So I go over there, anxiously awaiting the mascot, and he comes up. Y'all know, like, mascots can't talk. And I love to talk. And so I'm like, hey! I'm thinking, if I could just hear his voice, I would know if it was that guy that I was just talking to. And so I'm asking him all these questions. And I'm like, how long did it take you to get here, Gnash? Nothing. I'm pushing him. I'm like, surely something's gonna get this guy to budge. Like, I even said to him, hey, I'm in on the secret. Like, you can talk to me. You can talk to me. I won't tell anyone. Although I'm telling you now, I won't tell anyone your secret. Just like, let's get this done. So we're standing there. I'm pretty much like doing sign language to him, and he's pretty much signing back to me like, and I'm like, I think the plan is solid. I think we've, communicated what we're gonna do. And so it was go time. So the band was going to, I had somebody inside the room, and we were communicating, and then they were with the band, and we had these huge doors to open up for Nash to walk in. And so the clients were, being introduced and all of this, and then all of a sudden, the band was gonna kind of, they were gonna play a song, and then the couple would be dancing, and they'd be doing their first dance, and then they were like gonna do a little screech, like, and like, I had to do that twice for y'all. So they screeched the record, and all of a sudden the band was like, oh, I'm so sorry. There's been a complication, and the faces of the clients are like, who hired this person? Sarah? And so he goes, I need to introduce y'all to somebody. And then they put on the theme song for the Predators, and they start, coming in, they start getting the crowd all, excited. They're doing their do-rags. And the next thing you know, they introduce him, Nash from the Predators. And the doors open, and he comes in, and he's high-fiving, and he runs up to the groom and gives him a hug, and he's just like, this is so great, I can't believe he's there. And it was so awesome. The joy on his face when he saw that guy in the costume was amazing, and it was so much fun. He went around, high-fived, and he, made sure everybody was dancing and out on the dance floor, and it was awesome. I remember the groom just looking at his bride like, this is the coolest thing ever, and I can't believe you would do this for me. And just, it was so great because she was so excited, and it was just a wonderful gift personalized to him, knowing that he would just, freak out over it, and it was perfect. So before I go for this week, I'm gonna show you the video from the event, and I hope you can see how awesome it was, and I look forward to next week where I can share with you again an amazing gift that was given between a bride and groom, and the beauty in being able to give gifts freely. So enjoy this clip from their big day, and we'll see y'all next week.